Hi, good morning. Welcome to our store. You came at just the right time. We're running some wonderful deals today. I'll be your guide through some of our best products. So, let's take a little tour together. Don't worry, my jokes are free of charge, unlike the groceries. That's reassuring. Excellent. Let's begin with the true classic. Baked beans. Now, these beauties are the quiet heroes of the British cardboard. One tin, just 415 grams, is enough to keep you warm, fat, and happy, whether you're a student, a parent, or simply who can't be bothered to cook complicated meals on a rainy day. Now, let's talk price because that's what really matters. A single can costs £1.20. But here's where things get interesting. If you buy 2 cans together, the price drops to £2 total. That's a saving of 40 pence. Think of it as money back for your next bus ride. And if you're a true enthusiast, or maybe you've got a family to feed, you can go for the 4-pack at £3.50. That means each can is only 87 pence. Quite a bargain, isn't it? Yeah, I say so. See, with deals like this, beans stop being just beans. They become an investment. And let's be honest, baked beans are versatile. They're perfect on toast, the ultimate quick lunch. Add them to jacket potatoes and you've got yourself a dinner. Or if you're feeling creative, you can stir them into a stew and impress your friends. No one needs to know it was mostly beans. And here's the fun fact. Some people actually eat them cold, straight from the can. Now, I won't judge. Well, maybe just a little. I'll stick with heating them up. Good choice. Warm beans are like a hug in a bowl. Oh, and don't forget, beans are full of protein and fiber. So not only are they budget friendly, they're secretly healthy too. Your doctor might thank you, even if your flatmate complains about the side effects. I think I know what you mean. Exactly. Now, let me tempt you further. Imagine a Sunday morning, toast popping, kettle boiling, a tin of these beans simmering gently for less than the price of a fancy coffee. You've got comfort on a plate, and since the 4-pack is on special, it's really the smart way to go. Stock up now, thank yourself later. So, shall we pop that 4-pack into your basket? You'll be prepared for breakfast, quick suppers, and the occasional midnight snack. Alright, let's do the 4-pack. Wonderful choice. Practical, delicious, and thrifty. 3 things you can rarely say together these days. Right now, you've got the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, a solid start to your basket. Now then, to go with these beans, what could be better than a hot cup of tea? Let's move on to our next item, tea bags. Alright, now that we have secured your baked bean supply, let's balance things out with the good old-fashioned British essential, tea bags. Because what are beans without a proper cuppa to wash them down? Now, we don't just sell one kind of tea. That would be boring. We've got a wonderful selection of flavors, each with its own personality, like friends at a party. Let me introduce you to them. First up, the classic English breakfast tea. Strong, bold, dependable, like that friend who always shows up on time. A box of 80 bags costs £2.50. Not bad for 80 mornings of waking up properly, is it? Next, for those who prefer something gentler, we have Earl Grey. It's got that distinctive bergamot aroma, classy, a little floral, a little sophisticated. A box of 50 bags is £2.80. Slightly pricier, but hey, you're basically buying class in a cup. And if you like to wind down in the evenings, we've got the chamomile tea. Calming, soothing, helps you sleep after too many baked beans. A box of 40 bags costs £2.20. It's practically therapy, but cheaper and without the awkward questions. That's one way to look at it. Now, for those who like a bit of excitement, we also have green tea with lemon. Fresh, light, a little zesty. Perfect if you're trying to convince yourself you're being healthy. A box of 60 bags is £3. And, drumroll please, it's our special of the day, 2 for £5. That's right, buy one for yourself, give one to a friend, or keep them both and pretend you're sharing. No judgment here. And lastly, for the adventurous souls, we've got fruit infusions, berry, apple, and cinnamon, or tropical mix. Each box of 20 packs is £2. But here's the kicker. If you buy any 3 boxes of fruit tea, the total is only £5. That's like getting one of those boxes half price. Variety and value, your taste buds will thank you. That does sound tempting. See, tea is more than just a drink. It's a lifestyle, which means you've got comfort food. With tea, you've got comfort for the soul. Plus, imagine inviting friends over. You open your cardboard, and instead of offering just one dusty old box of generic tea, you've got a selection. People will think you're posh, even if you're still in your slippers. Huh? I could use that trick. Exactly. And let's do the math here. A box of 80 English breakfast bags at £2.50 means each cup costs just over 3 pence. That's cheaper than bottled water, and definitely cheaper than a cafe latte that disappears in 5 minutes. Tea is the ultimate investment in happiness. So, what's it going to be? Fancy the English breakfast? Or shall we mix and match with some fruit infusions on that 3 for £5 deal? I think I'll take 1 breakfast tea and 3 fruits. That way I have options. Brilliant choice. A balance of tradition and adventure. I like your style. So far, you've got the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50 plus 1 box of English breakfast tea at £2.50 and 3 fruit infusions for £5. That brings your total to £11. Alright, now that we've sorted your tea, let's move on to something creamy to go with it. Semi-skimmed milk. Because what's a proper cup of tea without a splash of milk, eh? Now, since we've just stocked you up on tea, we can't ignore its most faithful partner, milk. After all, a proper British cuppa isn't complete without that gentle splash of white, turning your tea the perfect shade of beige. Some say it's a national art form. Yeah, I do like a bit of milk in mine. Exactly. And today, we're talking about semi-skimmed milk. The happy middle ground. Not too creamy, not too watery, just right. Think of it as the Goldilocks of milk. Now, let's break down the options. We sell it in 3 sizes. A standard, a pint bottle is 90 pence. Great if you live alone or don't want it going off in the fridge. The 2-pint bottle is £1.60, which saves you 20 pence compared to buying 2 singles. And for families of tea fanatics who drink 5 cups a day, we've got the 4-pint jug at £3. That works out to just 75 pence per pint. A solid saving and fewer trips to the shop. Oh, that's a lot of milk. It is, but you'd be surprised how quickly it disappears. Between breakfast, cereals, cup of tea, and the occasional hot chocolate, milk tends to vanish like socks in the washing machine. Oh, and here's a special offer. This week only, the 2-pint bottle is down to £1.40. That's 20 pence off. Not bad if you want to balance value with fridge space. I usually don't go through that much milk. Maybe I'll skip today. Fair enough. No pressure. We're not here to drown you in dairy. So far, you've kept it simple. Baked beans 4-pack at £3.50 plus your tea selection for £7.50, bringing your basket total to £11. A tidy start without overloading the fridge. But at least now you know where to come when your tea starts looking lonely. Speaking of lonely, I think it's time we gave your snacks a companion. Let's head over to something crunchy, salty, and dangerously addictive. Potato crisps. Because who doesn't like a bag of crisps when their tea or beans on toast? Now then, we've had beans, we've had tea, we even debated the philosophy of milk. I think it's time to crunch things up a little bit. Let's talk about potato crisps. Because, honestly, if they're anything more universally loved than the bag of crisps, they're the snack that never argues with you, unless you count the crinkle-cut kind, which can be a bit noisy. Yeah, you can't really say no to crisps. Exactly, neither can I. And here's the good news. We don't just have one flavor. we've got a little lineup of temptation for you. First, the classic sorted. Plain, simple, honest. It's the flavor that says, I don't need fancy seasoning. I'm perfect as I am. A standard 150 gram sharing bag is £1.50. Or if you're more of a solo snacker, the smaller 40 gram bags are 70 pence each. Perfect for lunchboxes or for pretending you stop at just one bag. Classic sorted is always safe. Safe, yes, but let me tempt you with variety. We've also got cheese and onion, bold, tangy, and let's be honest, the one that makes your breath slightly dangerous, but it's worth it. Same price, £1.50 for the large bag, 70 pence for the small. Then there's salt and vinegar. Sharp, punchy, and it wakes you up faster than a double espresso. Some people love it, some people can't handle it. But if you're in the first camp, nothing else comes close. Again, £1.50 large, 70 pence small. Now, here's where the deals come in. If you buy any 2 large sharing bags, it's £2.50 instead of £3. And if you're stocking up for a party or just a really good weekend, you can grab 5 small bags for £3. That's like getting one for free. Not a bad excuse to accidentally buy extras, right? I like cheese and onion, but I don't need a big bag today. Smart thinking. A small one for now keeps things under control. Unless, of course, you're planning a film night. Then the large bag becomes less a snack and more of survival food. I'll just stick to one small bag this time. Fair enough. Cheese and onion, small bag, 70 pence, and happiness guaranteed. That's the beauty of crisps. Instant joy in crinkly packaging. So far, your basket's looking tasty. You've got the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, your tea selection at £7.50, and now crisps for 70 pence. That brings your running total to £11.70. So, we've sorted your savoury snack, but breakfast is still looking a little empty. Let's move along to something that fills the bowl in the morning. Cornflakes. Because what's life without a bit of crunchy to start the day? Alright, now that we've satisfied the snack monster with crisps, let's rewind to the most important meal of the day, breakfast. Because honestly, if you don't start right in the morning, the rest of the day feels like trying to run a marathon in flip-flops. And when it comes to breakfast, one of the great champions is the humble box of cornflakes. Golden, crunchy, and cheerful enough to make even a Monday morning feel slightly less miserable. Yeah, cornflakes bring back memories of childhood breakfasts. Exactly, they're nostalgic and they're reliable. Pour some in the bowl, splash on milk, semi-skimmed, whole, almond, whatever floats your boat, and you've got instant energy. No stress, no fuss, unless you forgot the milk. But that's a separate tragedy altogether. Now, let's talk prices, because no cereal tastes good if your wallet cries. We've got 3 main sizes. The small 250 gram box, perfect if you live alone or just want to dip your toes back into the world of cornflakes. That's £1.80. The medium 500 gram box, family friendly or just enough for a week of solid breakfasts. Price is £3.20. And the jumbo 1 kilogram family pack. This one could feed a small army or one teenager. Normally £5.50, but good news, it's on special this week for £4.50. That's a whole pound off, and it works out to only 45 pence per 100 grams. That's the cheapest crunch you'll hear all morning. Oh, that's actually pretty good saving. See? Breakfast and bargains all in one box. And if you're the kind of person who likes to mix it up, we also stock a couple of varieties. Frosted cornflakes, the sugary cousin, sweet enough to make kids bounce off the walls, but let's be honest, adults secretly love them too. A 500 gram box is £3.50. And whole grain cornflakes for those who want to be a bit healthier. They've got more fibre, so you feel full for longer, and they're only £3.30 for 500 grams. And guess what? Right now, we're running a mix and match deal. Buy any 2 boxes of cornflakes, classic, frosted, or whole grain for £6. That's a saving of up to 80 pence. Not bad if you want to keep both your inner child and your doctor happy. Tempting, but I think I'll skip it this time. I've got cereal at home. Fair enough, you're a prepared shopper. I like that. Cornflakes will still be here waiting for you when the cardboard runs dry. No hard feelings. So far, your basket holds the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, your tea selection for £7.50, and a small bag of cheese and onion crisps at 70 pence. That brings the total to £11.70. Now, since we've covered beans, tea, milk, crisps, and breakfast, I think it's time to bring some fresh produce into the basket. Let's step over to the back section and take a look at our carrots, because no grocery trip is complete without something orange and crunchy that isn't deep fried. Alright, let's brighten things up with a splash of orange. Carrots. Now, carrots are one of those vegetables that really pull their weight. They can be sweet, crunchy, healthy, and versatile, and they don't complain if you eat them raw, cooked, roasted, or even juiced. Honestly, carrots are like the overachievers of the vegetable world. Salads, soups, Sunday roasts, stir-fries, they show up everywhere. You can even use them to bribe children into eating something vaguely nutritious, or at least make them believe they'll see better in the dark. I definitely remember being told that as a child. See, classic parental myth, but hey, at least it got us eating our veggies. Now, let's talk about how we sell them here. You've got options. Loose carrots. Pick as many or as few as you like. They're priced at 90 pence per kilogram. Great if you just want a couple for a recipe. Pre-packed 1 kilogram bags. Neat, convenient, and only £1. Saves you the trouble of weighing them. And for the serious carrot enthusiasts, or anyone hosting a family roast, we've got the 2 kilogram family bag. Normally £1.90, but today it's on special at £1.50. That's just 75 pence per kilo. A crunchy bargain if ever there was one. That's not bad at all. And here's another fun option. Baby carrots. Peeled, bite-sized, and perfect for snacking or lunchboxes. A 500-gram pack costs £1.80. And here's the kicker. If you buy 2 packs, it's just £3 total. That's a nice little saving. And you won't even need to touch a peeler. I do like the idea of baby carrots, but I don't think I need them this week. Fair enough. No pressure. The beauty of carrots is they don't take it personally. They'll be waiting here next week. Still orange, still crunchy, and let me tell you, if you ever want to impress your dinner guests, roast a tray of carrots with a bit of honey and thyme. Simple, cheap, and suddenly you look like a gourmet chef. Not bad for a vegetable that costs less than a bus ticket. Hey, I might try that recipe sometime. You won't regret it. Trust me, cheap, cheerful, and delicious is always a winning combo. So far, your basket's still carrying the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, your tea selection for £7.50, and that small bag of cheese and onion crisps at 70 pence, bringing your total to £11.70. Now, since carrots rarely travel alone in the kitchen, let's pair them with another classic, potatoes. Because what's a plate without some mashed roasties or a good old baked spud? Now, onto one of the most beloved vegetables in Britain, and honestly, probably the world, the potato. Simple, humble, but oh so powerful. If baked beans are the comfort food of the carpet, potatoes are the comfort food of the earth. And today, let's shine the spotlight on just one variety, the good old baking potato. Yes, that large, sturdy, reliable spud that can do 100 jobs but only ever asks for butter in return. That's quite an introduction of a potato. But it deserves it. Think about it. You take one of these beauties, pop it in the oven, and in about an hour, you've got yourself a crispy skinned, fluffy scented baked potato. Add a dollop of butter, maybe some cheese, maybe even those baked beans we talked about earlier. Suddenly, you've got a meal fit for royalty. and all from something that costs less than a chocolate bar. Now, let's be clear about the numbers. These baking potatoes are £1.20 per kilogram. On average, that's about 3 or 4 large potatoes per kilo. So we're talking roughly 30 to 40 pence each. That's one of the cheapest dinners you can buy. Cheaper than crisps, cheaper than milk, even cheaper than bottled water. That's not bad at all. Not bad. It's a culinary revolution, my friend. For just 40 pence, you've got a blank canvas. Want something hearty? Top it with tuna mayo. Feeling fancy? Try sour cream and chives. On a budget, butter and salt never fail. And here's the kicker. This week only, we got a special. 4 kilo bags of baking potatoes, down from £450 to £350. That's less than £1 per kilo. Enough spurs to feed a family, or one very determined person with a lot of time on their hands. And let's face it, potatoes store well, so you're not risking anything. True, they don't go off that quickly. Exactly, unlike lettuce, which wears out the spite in the moment you close the fridge door. The potatoes are patient. They'll wait for you. They'll sit quietly in the cupboard, dreaming of roast dinners, chips, mash, or soups. They don't complain, they just transform. And did you know, there's a fun fact. Potatoes were the very first vegetable grown in space. Astronauts ate them up there. If they're good enough for NASA, they'll definitely be good enough for your Sunday roast. I have no idea. Well, now you do. A potato is more than a vegetable. It's history, nutrition, and comfort rolled into one. For a few pennies, you are buying a piece of culinary magic. So, what do you think? Fancy taking it back today, or are you stocked up already? I think I'll pass this time. I've got some at home. Fair enough. That's the good thing about potatoes. You don't have to buy them every week. But next time you're running low, you know exactly where the best bargains are. So far, your basket's steady. You've got the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, your tea assortment for £7.50, and a small bag of cheese and onion crisps at 70 pence, which keeps your total at £11.70. Alright, from earthy and hearty, let's move to something a bit greener, fresher, and elegant. Leeks. Trust me, they've got more personality than you might expect. Now, let's move from the humble potato to something a little more elegant, a little more French, if you will. Leeks. They're tall, they're green, and they look a bit like spring onions that went to the gym and bulked up. Oh, they look a bit oversized, don't they? Exactly. They're the bodybuilders of the onion family, but don't be fooled by their size. They're surprisingly delicate in flavor, softer than onions, sweeter than garlic, and with just enough bite to make soups, stews, and pies taste like you've been cooking for hours, when really you just threw them in the pot. Now, here's the thing. Not everyone buys leeks every week. They're like the classy cousin who only shows up at family gatherings, but when they do show up, everyone's glad they came. Let's get practical. Loose leeks are £2 per kilogram. A single good-sized leek usually weighs about 200 grams, so you're looking at roughly 40 pence each. Not too bad for something that can flavor an entire dish. We also sell a bundle of sweet leeks for £1.20. That's the most popular option. Perfect size for a nice leek and potato soup. And guess what? This week, the bundles are special. 2 bundles for £2. That's 6 leeks for the price of 5. More soup, more savings, fewer excuses not to eat your greens. Soup, huh? I don't usually cook with leek, honestly. But let me tempt you. Picture this. It's a chilly evening, rain tapping against the window. You simmer some leeks with potatoes, maybe a bit of butter and cream. Suddenly, you've got a steaming bowl of homemade leek and potato soup. Rich, warming, and it costs you a fraction of what you pay in a cafe. Or slice them up, saute them gently, and use them as the base for a chicken pie or even a simple pasta dish. They add depth, sweetness, and a little sophistication. It's like upgrading your food without upgrading your budget. Ooh, that actually sounds pretty good. See? That's the magic of leeks. They're like culinary cheat codes. And here's another fun fact. Leeks are the national emblem of Wales. So, if you buy them, not only you're feeding yourself well, you're also showing a bit of cultural appreciation. Alright then, you've convinced me. I'll take a bundle. Excellent choice. A bundle of 3 leeks, £1.20, and you're officially on your way to gourmet cooking. So, at this point, your basket's filling nicely. Baked beans for £3.50, your tea assortment at £7.50, a small pack of cheese and onion crisps at 70p, and now leeks for £1.20. That brings your total to £12.90. Now, from fresh and green, let's switch gears completely. We're leaving the produce aisle and heading towards something a bit more unexpected, because who doesn't want to buy phone cases in the grocery store? We've had our fill of veggies for now, so now let's step into a slightly different aisle. Yes, still in the grocery store, but here we also sell something you probably didn't expect. Phone cases. Because honestly, in today's world, protecting your phone is almost as important as protecting your groceries. Oh, that's a bit unexpected, but useful. Exactly. You never know when you drop your phone. Usually right after buying a new one, or on the one day you forget to renew your insurance. So let me walk you through our stylish little collection. First, the Magic Grip, clear MagSafe iPhone case, slim, flexible, and it lets you show off the actual color of your phone while still giving you basic protection. This one is £6. It's the simple, no nonsense choice, like the classic salted crisps of phone cases. Pretty standard but practical. Spot on. Now, for those who like a bit more character, we've got the Space Travel iPhone case. We stock them in black, navy blue, and pastel pink. They've got the same snug fit, but they add a little personality. Each is £7.50. Think of them as the wardrobe for your phone. You get to dress it according to your mood. And then, if you're after more rugged protection, we have the faded soft iPhone case of refreshing faded colors. These are the tough ones with reinforced corners. Drop your phone? No problem. These cases laugh in the face of gravity. They are £10 each, and they come in Silla Grey, tea white, and a nice smoky pink. Perfect for people who have a habit of living dangerously or just being clumsy. Those sound handy. They are. And finally, the premium option, our Pocket Pro. Embossed leather cover phone case, sleek, professional, with a front cover to protect your screen. They also have a little slot inside for cards, so you can keep your credit cards or ID right with your phone. Perfect for traveling light. These are normally £15, but here's today's deal. The black leather style case is on special for £12. That's £3 off. And honestly, it's one of our best sellers because people like the extra screen protection. Tempting. But I think I'll stick with my current case for now. Fair enough. Your phone looks safe enough today, but at least now you know where to come if you need a backup or you fancy giving your phone a new outfit. So far, your basket's shaping up nicely. Baked beans for £3.50, tea at £7.50, a pack of crisps at 70p, and fresh leeks for £1.20. That's a total of £12.90. Alright, since phones without charging options are like baked beans without toast, let's move along to the next item, charging cables. And believe me, we've got a few different types to keep it connected. Now, a phone case is all well and good, but a phone without power, useless. Let's make sure you never suffer the dreaded 1% battery life moment. Next up, charging cables. We've got 3 main types here, because let's face it, every device manufacturer thinks the world revolves around their connector. Don't remind me, I've got a drawer of random ones already. You and half the country. But let's get organized. First, the lightning cable. The classic for iPhone and iPad. Sturdy, white, does the job. A 1 meter cable costs £7, and if you prefer the longer 2 meter version, that's £9. Second, the USB-C cable. This one's the modern favorite. Fast charging, reversible plug, works for most Android phones, tablets, even laptops. Price £6.50 for 1 meter, £8.50 for 2 meter. And then the old warrior still hanging around. Micro USB. Lots of speakers, older phones, and small gadgets still rely on it. These are the cheapest. £5 for 1 meter, £7 for 2 meter. Now, those three are the classics, the bread and butter of the charging. But sometimes you don't want the basics. You want convenience, efficiency, and let's be honest, a little bit of brilliance. So, let me introduce you to our showstopper, the 3-in-1 multi-cable. This little marvel has Lightning, USB-C, and micro USB all attached. One cable, 3 ports. Instead of carrying 3 chargers, you carry just one. Perfect for travel, perfect for families, perfect for anyone who's tired of untangling a nest of wires. Oh, that actually sounds pretty practical. Practical and smart. Normally, this 1.5 meter cable costs £12, but today it's on special for £10. That's basically 3 chargers in one for less than price of 2 singles. And here's the little sweetener. Buy any of the regular cables plus 3-in-1 and you get 25% off the regular one. So, for example, a USB-C at £6.50 plus the 3-in-1 at £10 would normally be £16.50. But with the discount, it's only £14.90. One bargain, endless charging options. I think I'll skip for now, but I'll come back for that 3-in-1. Yeah, fair enough. But remember, this cable is the peace treaty for every household cable war. One charger to rule them all. So far, your basket's still holding steady. Baked beans for £3.50, tea at £7.50, a bag of crisps at 70 pence, and those fresh leeks at £1.20. That keeps the total at £12.90. Now, while we're in the world of gadgets, let's move on to something even more personal. Earbuds. Because whether you're into music, podcasts, or pretending you can't hear people on the bus, a good pair makes all the difference. Alright, since we've sorted out the charging situation, let's talk about something that makes all that power worth having. Sound. And not just any sound. Calm, private, drift off to dreamland sound. With our single star pick today. Soft, S-O-F-T, Bluetooth sleep earphones. Sound for a sweet dream. Sleep earphones. I usually get mine off because they're uncomfortable. That's exactly what these are designed to fix. They're lightweight and shaped with an ergonomic profile, so they sit softly without poking your ear canal or pressing against your neck. The extra soft earbuds are made for long sessions, even for side sleepers. Roll onto your side, turn your head on the pillow. No hard plastic digging in, no ouch moments. Just music, audiobooks, rain sounds, created in China ASMR, whatever helps you drift off. Sounds promising, and they don't just feel good, they sound good. You get high quality audio with powerful performance, clean vocals for podcasts, a warm mid-range for sleep tracks, and enough detail that your favorite songs don't turn to mush at low volume. They pair in seconds, automatic pairing the moment you power them on, and the connection stays stable, so you don't get that annoying cut in, cut out while you're dozing off. I hate when that happens. Same here. Now, let's talk endurance, because nothing ruins an app like a dying battery. These give you up to 20 hours on a single charge. That's a week or 2 of bedtime listening for most people. If you do an hour a night, you'd only be charging them about once every 3 weeks. And thanks to the lightweight design, they're just as happy on an evening walk or a gentle workout as they're on the pillow. That's actually pretty useful, right? Now, pricing. No gimmicks, just a fair, clear tag because they already punch above their weight. The SOFT Bluetooth sleep earphones are £20 for something that helps you fall asleep faster, keeps you from waking your partner, and doubles for workouts or travel. That's a strong return. £20 sounds really reasonable for that. And you're not paying for a bunch of extras you don't need, just the things that matter for sleep. Comfort, quiet controls, reliable pairing, and long playtime. If you're ever not off mid-podcast, mission accomplished. Alright, I'll take a pair. Great choice. One box of SOFT Bluetooth sleep earphones, £20. I'll pop them into your basket. Bedtime just got an upgrade. So let's take stock. You've got baked beans for £3.50, your tea selection at £7.50, a pack of cheese and onion crisps for 70p, fresh leeks for £1.20, and now your new earbuds for £20. That brings your running total to £32.90. Now, speaking of long playtime, some folks like a little extra insurance when they're out and about. If you ever want to keep your phone and earphones topped up on trains, planes, or long days, your power banks makes life a lot easier. We've got two capacities. Let's take a look. Now that you've got your new earbuds ready to serenade you to sleep, let's make sure they and your phone never run out of power while you're out in the wild. Because let's face it, nothing causes panic faster than watching your battery drop from 5% to 3% while you're still 3 stops away from home. Enter power banks. Yeah, I've been caught out like that before. Not fun. Exactly. That's why these little bricks of energy are lifesavers. And today, we've got 2 sizes to fit different needs. First, the 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. Small, slim, slips right into your pocket or handbag. It can fully charge most smartphones about 2 times. Price £12. Great if you are commuting, going to classes, or just need a backup for a long day. Compact sounds handy. Very handy. Now, for those who like to play safe, or for the person who's basically running a mobile office out of their backpack, we've got the 20 milliamp hour power bank. Twice the capacity, only a little chunkier, and it can fully charge most smartphones 4 to 5 times. Perfect for travel, festivals, or that long haul flight where you don't want to fight strangers for the one working socket. Price £32. Oh, that's a lot of charging. It is, and both models come with dual USB outputs, so you can charge your phone and your earbuds or share with a friend if you're feeling generous. They also feature fast charging support, so you're not waiting all day for your phone to crawl back to life. And unlike some cheaper ones, these have built-in safety features. Overcharge protection, short circuit protection, the works. So you won't accidentally turn your backpack into a firework display. Good to know. Now let's do some quick math. The 10,000 milliamp hour is £20, about £10 per smartphone charge cycle roughly. The 20,000 milliamp hour is £32, so less than £7 per charge cycle. That means the big one gives you better value in the long run, especially if you're a heavy user. I don't travel that much, so I think the small one would do me. Perfectly sensible choice. The 10,000 milliamp hour is sleek, light, and still saves the day when you need it. One pocket-sized insurance policy against dead batteries. And that, my friend, concludes today's little tour. From baked beans to power banks, who knew a grocery trip could cover both your dinner and your digital life? You're walking out with full cardboards and a fully charged future. Let's quickly take stock. You've got the baked beans 4-pack at £3.50, tea at £7.50, crisps for 70p, leeks for £1.20, your new sleep earbuds for £20, and now the 10,000 milliamp hour power bank for £20. That brings the total today to £52.90. Got it. Thank you very much. Well, there we have it. Beans, teas, crisps, and even a power bank. That's what I call a well-rounded basket. Food for the body, energy for the phone, and music for the soul. That's the magic of this place. You never quite know if you leave with dinner or a new gadget. Sometimes both. Thanks for shopping with us today. May your beans be warm, your tea be strong, and your battery always about 50%. I'll drink to that. Cheers.